Hey there guys, and welcome back to another reaction video. Today we'll be reacting to SCP-2408, SCP-2480, sorry. Hey, fucked up AI can make some mistakes, you know? uh, anyway. Oh, by the way, I got a new phone on which Genshin Impact works, so instead of what I used to do, which was playing on the computer, I'm playing it on my phone. I do have to start all over, but it's not like I sunk any money into the old account. Anyway, let's press play and see what's gonna happen, shall we?
Looks like it's about to collapse.
Oh, whoops. By the way, if you happen to play Genshin on, I don't know if it's cross-platform, but if you see an adventurer named Familiar, that's yours truly. At least on the phone. Anyway.
Viewer discretion is advised. This place is wrong. The air, the people, the buildings. Hell, I swear
No
even
shit.
the sky looks like it's about to collapse.
Oh dear.
I feel like there's someone or something in my room.
The shadow of the rubber.
I feel like I'm being watched. The locals
yes,
here
the rubber
didn't
is
seem to
watching
mind
you.
us at first. In fact, we even had a feast during the first day. But now, every one of them looks like they're avoiding us, or perhaps avoiding something that we don't understand. They just look at us with their shifty eyes. I sleep close to the door because the wall at the end of the room gives off a dreadful feeling. I could hear something like a chanting or some sort of an eternal scream ringing faintly behind that awful painting.
Wait, that's not supposed to be normal? Oh dear. I might have problems then.
Alive and turning into walls of viscera and collapse, burying me alive. I see strange men in shrouds at the corner of my vision. I smell rot and decay. I hear them calling my name. Giuseppe, Giuseppe. I am losing.
Where are the meatballs, Giuseppe?
So I don't feel alone. Lieutenant Frank Giuseppe, MTF Epsilon 6. Hello everybody, I'm TheRubber. Today we bring you a SCP Foundation.
Giuseppe, where are the cannolis?
SCP-2480. SCP-2480, also known as an unfinished ritual, is speculated to be a dimensional anomaly centered around Bodfell Manor, located in a coastal and heavily forested town in Massachusetts, with a meager population of just over 9,000.
It's over 9,000!
Of Bodfell, a millionaire industrialist with an acute interest in the occult. Prior to his death,
combination
Bodfell was the leader of a secret society known as Aditum's Wake. It is hypothesized that 2480 is a dimensional anomaly that cannot be directly perceived unless the observer is under the influence of perception-altering pill. The Foundation became aware of the existence of 2480 after intercepting and decoding a distress signal broadcasted by the GOC, Global Occult Coalition, and promptly sent in an investigation team. 36 corpses were found scattered throughout the manor estate.
Shit, they found my cellar.
As GOC operatives.
Fucking ads.
Their attention was the manner of their apparent
just in case, apparently they found my basement.
Disintegration, fatal physical reconfiguration, all of which are physically impossible to be performed by humans. In mid-1988, Site 13 failed to send a biannual report on the state of 2480. Believing it to be a bureaucratic error, the Foundation attempted to contact Site 13 directly without response. At first, two agents were sent to investigate. However,
who didn't come back?
Agent has since made contact, and their fate remains unknown till this day. The Foundation then dispatched MTF Epsilon 6 to re-establish contact with Site 13, as well as to properly secure 2480. They were accompanied by a researcher, Dr. Narvez. Due to their experience and efficiency, the task force successfully integrated themselves into the community in no time. They were welcomed as new residents and tourists by the residents in a warm and friendly manner at first, but soon enough, they began to feel something wasn't quite all there in the town.
No
The
shit.
locals seemed to be evading something unseen. On the 6th day, the agents were beginning to detect a certain wrongness in the town. A man who greeted Agent Goldstein with a bright smile, and then the next day stared him down with dead eyes that never blinked. He began to pick up a lingering smell of rot. Agent Grayson, who posed as a tourist, started to detect more frequent movement within the hotel, especially during nighttime. One night before he went to sleep, he heard movement outside his room and decided to check through the peephole. And there he saw a face staring right back at him at the other side. Their eyes met, and the visitor began to slam his head against the door, over and over and over
That's
again.
so odd,
As the
right?
days gone by, the task force was
I mean,
beginning
it's
to
totally
feel
normal.
increasingly anxious and paranoid. Agent Lightbody was approached by a nervous-looking man on the street. I'm telling you, man, there are monsters in the fog. Unspeakable horrors lurking among us, right in front of our very eyes.
He's
You
just a
don't see it.
local
He
town
was
nut
found
job.
dead the next day, drowned, with an agonizing look on his face. Their encounters were becoming increasingly disturbing. A group of kids were gathering on the street when the sun was setting.
It's
When
time
Agent
to
Giuseppe came close to them, they
play.
turned towards him
Oh
briefly.
shit.
There were blood dripping from the corners of their mouths. They scattered, leaving behind a rat, flayed and covered in bite marks, with missing chunks of flesh. On the 9th day,
Poor rat,
Agent
though.
Giuseppe disappeared. They went to his
Oh,
place
dear.
and found his journal. All the doors were locked, and the TV was left on. It was like he just ceased to exist. This
He
town is
just
sick
poofed
and
out of
rotten.
existence.
Why can't we just burn it to the ground? What are we even doing here? What is our command waiting for? There's something wrong in this town. The locals behave in such a haphazard way. Hell, sometimes they seem to be hallucinating in the middle of the street. And what's more, Dr. Narvez was trembling and sweating profusely. Meet me tomorrow morning in the town courtyard. There's something all of you need to see for yourself.
And
The
thus
next
he
day,
was
they met
dead.
up as arranged. The doctor handed a pill to each of the agents. This is a perception-altering pill. It'll let you see the truth behind this town. As they were about to inhale it, Dr. Narvez said to them, "Whatever you're about to see, do not freak out, all right?" They nodded and took the pill. Minutes later,
And freaked
colors became
out.
more vivid to the agents, and soon a yellow fog cloaked the town. They began to see people in dark hooded robes. Their outfits were composed of poorly stitched together leathers and
They're gonna
hides.
freak out,
Their
aren't
faces
they?
were obscured by the hood. Agent Lightbody averted her gaze away from them. The locals moved aside when the hooded figures approached. Never did they make eye contact. Agent Goldstein steeled himself and explored the town. He now saw the buildings in a state of ruin, covered in a pulsating flesh. The town church had been replaced by a
Sarkites.
massive, ancient black ziggurat, and the robed entities were prostrating themselves before the structure. One of the figures
The
caught his
Sarkites
attention.
are
It was
involved, I
abnormally
bet.
tall and was holding several unknown creatures by a leash.
Huh.
The creatures had small, unblinking yellow eyes. Their mouths
Neat.
displayed rows of needle-like teeth. Their flesh was pale, yet muscular. They gibbered madly and moved in a frenzied pace. A few of the creatures attacked the smaller one among them. They tore into its flesh with its talons and teeth as it squealed in pain. This is madness.
And he
Whatever you're
proceeds
seeing,
to freak
my
out.
eyes, it's just some kids bullying and kicking a smaller kid. Agent Grayson was slowly losing his sanity. He looked skyward and saw tall black spires towering ominously over the town. We need to
Oh,
get to
dear.
Giuseppe's place. I need to see what it's really like there. They arrived at Agent Giuseppe's house. They perceived the house as it truly was, rotten, decaying, and covered in filth and blood. They searched the
Oh,
basement.
dear.
It was an ancient root cellar. On the far end was a large spiral painting on the wall. As they attempted to touch it, their hands went through it. They walked through the painting and found themselves in a tunnel. Moments later, they reached the end and found themselves in an abandoned farmland. They realized that they've arrived at the Bodfell Manor. An air of dread was beginning to weigh on them. Soon enough, a silhouette of a massive humanoid shambled out of the thick fog. Its flesh was pale and flabby. its face
Neat.
dominated by a large, tooth-filled mouth. The entity was lacking in eyes, ears, and nostrils. Its teeth,
But it has
and
more
three
than enough
hands
teeth.
were heavily stained in what looks like pieces of human flesh. It charged at them. Agent Grayson warned the group, but it was too late for Agent Bernstein.
And
The
dead.
entity lifted him up with a single hand and bit down his torso. Never in their life have they heard a man's scream went silent so suddenly. They scattered and ran through the fields. Agent Lightbody
Scattering is a bad idea.
The rest. The ground underneath her quaked, and she looked down. She saw not soil, but fragmented flesh, and crimson-colored tendrils burst forth and seized her by the ankle, pulling her into a hole far too small for any human. The sounds of her screams shot through the field.
Yeah.
Fortunately for the rest, they were able to regroup and decided that they would leave the very next day. On the final
But
day
they
of the mission,
never
when they were boarding their
returned.
boat at the docks, suddenly Agent Grayson's eyes widened and was then turned to slurry in a flash, as if he was hit by a great invisible force. What remained of the team felt their lives were spared, as if it was a warning from an unseen force, trying to tell them how easily it could do this to them. As
Huh.
the boat left the
Neat.
dock, the doctor noticed a crowd had formed at the bay. They looked on with faces that spoke to him of desperation, as well as the terror and madness of a town where unseen horror lurks. Remember to check out my new animation channel, TheRubber Talk.
Neat. Also, the rubber. Get it? Did you bring the rubber? I can't believe I still find that dumbass joke funny. No, well. Anyway, that was it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next video of whatever I'll be making. So yeah, bye.